Planet Zoo, Planet Zoo, it's time to play Planet Zoo.
Hello and welcome back to Planet Zoo. This is Martini 4. We are back at Talbot National Zoo. And this episode we are going to be continuing down our river adventure walk with a capybara exhibit or habitat. Jeez, one of these days I'll remember the proper terminology. So here I decided to change the direction of the river, and I'll eventually have the path cross over it, but I just wanted to bring it out this way to kind of curve the capybara habitat behind the anteater habitat that we built in last episode. So a lot of the same, just laying down the rocks in the river, building up the banks, giving them a spot to be able to get in and out of the water there. And I'm glad I went through and changed all that to dirt, because later on I noticed that the capybaras don't like a lot of rock. So that resolved a lot of issues with that. And now just putting in the null barriers, just kind of mapping out how big I want the habitat so I can put in my retaining walls on the back, which I end up just using more of the mud walls like I did in the anteater habitat. And here I'm just adding on to the backstage area, the place where the capybaras can go and sleep and be fed by the zookeepers. And I don't know why I had so much trouble just getting a door in there, but for whatever reason I did. And just copying and pasting some of the trim, just kind of keeping everything the same from the last build to this one, since it is all the same building. Again, just very utilitarian, just trying to make it blend in with the background so it doesn't become a focal point for the guests. We want the animals to be the focal point. So again, just using the same style of fencing from the last one with concrete floors. I only took the concrete out halfway, just kind of leave the bedding area just all dirt. And here is the mud walls. Again, if you haven't used these or don't know where to find them, they are on the Steam Workshop. The link is in the previous video for the anteater. I won't put it in this one, as I use new blueprints. If I do, I'll put those links in the first video I use them in. So here, working on the water and the river, just trying to kind of figure out how I want to block this area off. I wanted it to be more of a natural barrier. I didn't want to just put a fence over it. And I kind of wanted to make it look like some rapids right there with some rocks in the middle, just little details here and there. I thought that ended up looking pretty cool. And now just putting the fence to keep the guests from running amok. Just continuing the fence on. I cut a lot of that out because I got most of the way down to the end and realized I didn't want it to follow the path the entire way. I wanted to leave some room for planting and decorations. So I had to move everything back a little bit, and it threw off my spacing. So I ended up having to backtrack pretty much the entire way. So that was pretty boring stuff. So I just cut all that out. And now just moving the null barriers into their final locations. Getting my capybaras put into place once I remember to put a path in. Get those guys down so that I can put in the terrain and start doing the decorating of their habitat. We actually, I live in Oregon, and there's a place called Wildlife Safari. There's a little walkthrough zoo area, and then most of it is a drive-through zoo. But in the walkthrough, there's a habitat with capybaras in it, and we went there not too long ago, pretty much just to go see them, because they're pretty cool little guys. We got to see them running around and swimming. Now, at the end of this episode, you will see me start to build like a little food court area. I completely forgot that I was recording when I was building that, and then I stopped recording and forgot to start recording again. So you'll see the majority of the build in this episode, but I didn't record the decorating of it. You'll see it in the cinematics at the end. It turned out pretty good, sticking with the jungle theme and everything, which you'll see in a little bit. Here, putting down some strangler roots into the water, just making it look a little more natural and overgrown. These remind me of my aquarium hobby. The spiderwood and stuff that we use to aquascape our aquariums. So I wish there would be some. I really wish there was more logs and wood pieces. There's really only the one green mossy log that I really know of that kind of has that curved, gnarled look to it. I wish there were more of those, but like different colored and little variations and stuff. Kind of do like aquascaping, but in the game with the habitats. Here I really like using these fern palms as just regular ferns. I like the fullness and large scale that they have. I also like using the bird's nest ferns for that as well, and tucking them in the little cracks in the rocks and stuff. This habitat, it kind of mirrors the anteater habitat as far as the plants and everything go. Just kind of keeping that in that tropical theme. And I did try to kind of like break up some of the sight lines with piles of rocks and little mountains and stuff, both along the path and within the habitat. That way, the guests will have to move to different areas to see the capybara depending on where they are. Here I love putting down all these bromeliads and orchids and whatnot, just hanging them all over the trees and the rocks. It's nice that they put those in there so not everything has to be planted into the ground and still look natural. And then I put in a bunch of these, don't remember what they're called, but these red plants, just for a little pop of color here and there. I think I'm almost done filling this out. Oh yes, the vines. I cover the walls with vines just like in the anteater habitat. I spare you the monotony of all of that. Just kind of giving you an idea of what I was doing. I did, since I had a tree so close to the wall, I figured I would hang some of these vines from the tree to the wall. Just kind of make it look a little more jungly and overgrown. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it look very good or if it was just going to look forced and really stupid, but it ended up looking okay to me. Everything kind of blends in a little bit, so you can't really see it too well. But then here I'm putting some more of that Spanish moss in, adding a little color to the walls and along the trees. I really do like making these jungle habitats, because a lot of these animals, they don't care how many plants are in their habitat, so you can just load them down without worrying about that. That's one thing that kind of sucks about the other ones. If you really want to keep everything in the green, as far as the stats go, some of the other animals, they don't like a lot of foliage, and the habitats end up looking pretty bare, in my opinion. You can do a lot of rock work, but that tends to all be pretty monotonous as far as the color goes. All right, so throwing in some enrichment items here. Placing down some benches and bins for trash. Getting all that stuff set up for the guests. And then I decide to finally make some sort of frame for these boards here, these education boards. I was going to do something with the vines and kind of make it like a jungle theme, but I couldn't get anything that I was happy with. It just didn't look right. It looks like it has a weird beard on it, and then the vines across the top just didn't sit well with me. And then I tried to copy and paste everything, but I couldn't get it to copy properly, and I just scrapped the whole idea and started over. I run through a few ideas here, just trying to see something that would work, and then settled on these panels here, except I end up just going with all the gold panels. Kind of looks a little gaudy, but why not, right? Yeah, I was going to use the two different colored panels, but they didn't meld together very well. So I just switched it all to gold. Kind of tried to make the borders line up a little bit. Yeah, here I couldn't figure out why it wasn't picking it up so I could move it. It was being all weird on me, and it was still attached to the the original that I built it from. So I had to just split it from that group. And I probably went a little overboard on the education, but oh well. It's kind of a long habitat. And then I had to put in a transformer because I didn't have power over here. And once I put that in, I figured I needed some drink stalls, a place to eat, bathroom, and then that just led to building a whole structure, a temple, if you would, for this area here. It wasn't really planned. It just kind of happened, and the end result is pretty good. This is the first time I really used the temple pieces like these. I don't know, some of the theme stuff is I don't know. I don't like to use them a lot, but like the mud walls that I used with the tortoises, stuff like that, I'm not too fond of. They're kind of gimmicky, if you would, but this one I thought it kind of fit the area, so might as well have a little fun with it. And yeah, I make it a 2-story building, but I just leave the top story open. Don't put a floor in there. Just let the light shine down. Maybe it was an old temple and the floor fell in. Who knows? Even though the rest of the building looks just fine structurally. Yeah, I end up putting a bunch of vines and moss covering this thing, just to make it look like it was hidden away in the jungle for thousands of years. And I continue the dense foliage all around the sides and behind it. From here, we're going to start kind of trying to blend the biome from this into a North American habitat or North American biome. So you'll see the foliage start to change from tropical to more North American. styles. So that's where I stopped recording on that build. Sorry about that. You'll see the end product coming up here, but here's one of my capybaras just chilling in his new home. Had a lot of fun building this one. Trying to put out as many episodes as I can. So if anyone likes to binge watch episodes like I do, you'll have a little something to watch until the next one comes out. Eventually, once I get a library built up, then I'll start releasing them probably once a week. But until then, it'll probably be trying to do at least 2 a week, if not more. I have quite a few builds already recorded, just no voice recordings, so I won't release them until after that. But usually I record the voiceover and upload it right away. So I will leave you with the end cinematic here, going past our anteaters and heading off to the capybara area. So I appreciate anyone that sticks around and watches all of this. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Like I said in my last episode, if you wanted a habitat quote unquote sponsored by you, let me know with what name, and if it's appropriate, I will put you down, make a little sign for you. So I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.